Attention devoted Dallas Cowboys supporters. Major developments are unfolding within the NFC East, and they might completely reshape the landscape. What's happening now could have a direct effect on the Cowboys' journey toward another championship push. A potential power shift is emerging, one that could leave a divisional rival reeling for years to come. We're here to bring you this story straight from the source. But first, if you consider yourself a true Dallas Cowboys fan, make sure to subscribe and join this growing community of passionate supporters. Let's unite our energy and hit that goal of 8,000 subscribers. Share this with your fellow Cowboys enthusiasts and spread the word. Now, let's dive into what's been unfolding around the Dallas Cowboys lately, particularly concerning their defense and the wave of reactions, comments, and decisions that have everyone from fans to analysts and insiders buzzing nonstop. There's no denying it. The Cowboys' defense has hit a rough stretch. After surrendering 30 points to the Carolina Panthers in a game that could only be described as humiliating for a playoff-caliber team, frustration among the fan base is completely understandable. Cowboys fans are known for their passion, and when the team falters, they demand answers, accountability, and above all, a strong comeback. To put it bluntly, the defense has become the primary target of criticism in the NFL over recent weeks. Losing a game is one thing, but conceding 30 points in a way that exposes multiple weaknesses is another story altogether. What was expected to be a dominant defensive unit has instead struggled to maintain consistency. This isn't just about one bad performance or a single player, it's a recurring problem that's raising questions league-wide. When a defense gives up that kind of production, fans naturally begin to demand explanations or even major changes. Here's where it gets intriguing. Despite all the backlash, team owner Jerry Jones has made it known that he's not considering any mid-season coaching changes. Loyalty runs deep in Jones's philosophy. He's not one to make rash, emotional decisions. Instead, he's doubling down on his belief in the staff, backing his coaches, and expressing confidence that the team can right the ship. After offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer publicly supported defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus after the tough loss, Jones reaffirmed that same loyalty during his interview on 105.3 The Fan, emphasizing that it was his decision to bring Eberflus aboard in the first place. Jones's words were revealing. He said, "That's who I want in the foxhole with me," signaling that he still believes in Eberflus's leadership and defensive vision despite the setbacks. He stressed that the issues plaguing the defense aren't massive failures, but rather several smaller problems that need to align. That distinction matters because it shows that the organization isn't simply assigning blame, but genuinely believes that with some fine-tuning, the defense can regain its footing. Still, longtime observers can't help but question whether this steadfast loyalty might actually be a way of maintaining the status quo until the season wraps up, instead of making bold immediate moves. Jones's history supports that theory. He often surrounds himself with familiar figures, a hallmark of his ownership style. Over the years, he's brought back coaches, coordinators, and executives he feels comfortable with, even when that trust hasn't always translated into success on the field. Like last season, for example, Jones hired Mike Zimmer to lead the defense after Dan Quinn's departure. Zimmer's resume is extensive, and his connection to Dallas runs deep. He served as the Cowboys' defensive coordinator from 2000 to 2006 and as a defensive assistant for 6 years before that. It's a clear pattern, bringing in known, trusted names to restore balance or solve problems, even when the results aren't immediately apparent. Now, shifting focus to Eberflus himself, his background is quite notable. Before his current role, he was a respected defensive coordinator at Missouri in college football and later earned a solid reputation in the NFL. He previously served as the Cowboys linebackers coach for 7 seasons from 2011 to 2017, where he helped mold standout players like Sean Lee, one of the top linebackers in the league during that span. He also oversaw Rolando McClain's impressive 2-year run, proving his ability to develop talent and implement effective schemes. However, it's important to remember that his hiring was largely Jerry Jones's call, not the preference of Schottenheimer or Mike McCarthy, who had different visions for both sides of the ball. While Schottenheimer helped assemble the offensive staff, including offensive coordinator Clayton Adams and offensive line coach Connor Riley, Eberflus's appointment came straight from Jones. That reveals just how deeply involved Jones is in key personnel decisions beyond player acquisitions. This hands-on approach cuts both ways. On one hand, loyalty and familiarity can bring a sense of stability. On the other, it can restrict the team's capacity to innovate and adapt to the ever-changing demands of the NFL. Looking at the current defensive lineup, it's becoming increasingly evident that the talent level isn't strong enough to carry the entire team. While there are a few standout players, the overall unit lacks both consistency and explosiveness. Many fans have begun questioning how certain players are being used. For example, Donovan Wilson playing deep coverage instead of closer to the line, or Sam Williams receiving most of the snaps on the edge while James Howson, a capable contributor, remains underutilized. Kenneth Murray's continued time on the field despite his subpar performances has also drawn plenty of criticism. These choices, whether made by Matt Eberflus or the broader coaching staff, give the impression of favoritism toward familiar names rather than bold decision-making that could spark a turnaround. This leads us to a crucial point. The upcoming matchup against the Washington Commanders on Sunday could mark a turning point. Fans are already skeptical of Eberflus's approach, and the pressure surrounding him is intensifying. Every call, every adjustment, and every snap will be dissected as the conversation shifts toward whether this defense can rebound or if major changes are looming. The Cowboys undeniably possess the personnel to field a top-tier defense, but at the moment, they're failing to live up to that potential, and that underperformance is casting a shadow over everyone from players to coaches. So, what does all this mean for the Cowboys moving forward? It paints a complicated picture. The franchise still has the talent, the pedigree, and the infrastructure to stage a comeback, but persistent questions about coaching, player deployment, and in-game adaptability remain unanswered. In a division as cutthroat as the NFC East, every win is critical, and every misstep is magnified. The Cowboys must find a way to sharpen their focus and execute with precision. Whether that happens under the current leadership or through a shakeup down the line remains uncertain. What is undeniable is that Dallas fans still care deeply, and they won't tolerate mediocrity for long. They expect a team that dominates, and time is short to deliver. Let's pause for a moment. If you want to keep receiving the latest Cowboys news and analysis through YouTube's recommendations, make sure to hit the like button. It only takes a second, but it truly helps. Thanks for doing that. Now, let's get to the big picture. The Cowboys currently stand at a crossroads. They are one of the most storied franchises in NFL history, supported by an incredibly loyal fan base and boasting a roster packed with talent capable of competing with the league's elite, if managed effectively. Yet, cracks in the foundation are showing. The defensive struggles hint at larger systemic issues, from miscommunication and injuries to a lack of cohesion or confidence. The coaching staff, particularly Eberflus, faces mounting scrutiny over how they are responding and adjusting to these challenges. While owner Jerry Jones has publicly reaffirmed his faith in Eberflus and the entire coaching team, belief alone won't cut it in a results-driven league. If the Cowboys don't reverse course soon, the murmurs about potential changes will inevitably grow louder. Fans are yearning for a disciplined, dominant defense, one capable of carrying the team when the offense falters. They want intensity, structure, and intelligence on the field, the hallmarks of a true championship contender and a reflection of the Cowboys' historic identity. Zooming out to the NFC East as a whole, the competition is fiercer than ever. The Eagles remain a powerhouse, the Giants are showing signs of a resurgence, and the Commanders are eager to prove their worth. For Dallas, every divisional game is a must-win. This upcoming clash with Washington could very well define the season. Will Eberflus and his staff adapt effectively? Will the players rise to the challenge and execute with discipline? Or will this season become yet another story of unfulfilled potential for a team brimming with promise? In the end, the Cowboys' fate depends not only on raw talent, but also on coaching strategy, game day execution, and team chemistry. The balance is delicate, and the pressure to perform has never been greater. Fans are paying close attention, and their patience is wearing thin. They expect a team that plays hard, fights for every inch, and earns its victories through grit and focus. The coming weeks will define how this season, and perhaps this era, is remembered in Dallas. Now, Cowboys Nation, it's your turn. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your perspective matters to us and to this community. Do you still have faith in Eberflus, or do you believe it's time for a change? Can this team regroup and fight their way back, or are we headed for a rebuilding phase? Let us know your take. And don't forget, we'll be back soon with the latest updates and in-depth coverage. Stay tuned, keep your Cowboy spirit alive, and let's hope to see this team rise once again. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Cowboys.